On the line with me, one of my absolute faves. I love him so much. It's Donald Lawrence. Hey, Donald.
Hey Cheryl, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. We've
Oh,
got new music. You just came off the heels of an amazing success of the Clark Sisters movie. We got to talk about all of that. But before jumping
okay.
in, I just want to know how you doing during this pandemic. Are you good?
I'm good. Yeah, I kind of shut myself down like March 14th, so I'm in it for a month now. I'm like going into like 5 weeks, so I've been good. I'm a little bit germaphobe, so you didn't have to really push me. I was in.
I know that's right. I saw a meme where it says, this is the time for introverts. Y'all like, whatever. This is what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do. I'm a little over it though. I mean, I still like to go to the theater, even if I'm going alone or out to a restaurant, and atmosphere. But the being at home was not a big problem for me. But it's a bit much now.
I got to tell you, I laughed at you and Richard so hard because you were like, don't ask me to do challenges. Don't ask me to do no
I
lives. Don't.
mean, listen. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I've had to do all this press. I was like, if I have to do one more live, anything, can't take it. I was like, please don't. I'm not just because I'm home. Don't mean I'm gonna be doing all this stuff. Like, no. I'm with him. We're so much alike, and I didn't realize that. He laughed at me all the time. He said, Donald, you are, like he said, you're so like Mr. Gary, and we're so much alike. I was like, please don't send me no push-up challenges and scripture challenge, nothing. Like, just don't.
I laughed so hard at y'all. Y'all are so funny. It's like, I got the whole world in my hand, but I ain't singing it. I ain't going live. Richard was like,
No, I
oh,
told. I
Lord.
mean, Richard was laughing. But I said that melody got on my nerves when I was a little kid. And I didn't like it. I definitely want to hear it 1,000 times.
I said, he went all the way to that. He was like, I didn't like to sing it as a kid. It's just that doesn't sound good to me
Yeah, okay.
musically. So
Yeah, it just didn't work.
I love it. Let's jump in. We've got new music. Of course, Goshen, the record has been out, and I'm so glad that they're moving to more tracks for us to expose here at radio. The new single is called Jehovah Sabbath. Talk about it, Donald. It's a God of Angel Armies.
Yeah, God of Angel Armies. It's a term from that word. It's Jehovah Sabaoth, and it
Oh,
means
got it.
Lord of hosts, or a God who governs an army of angels. I wrote a song about 4 years ago, and it's so timely now because prior to it, if you listen to the whole record, the piece prior to it, the segue into it is a theatrical piece called Plagues. And it speaks about plagues, and it speaks about the challenges of the plagues, but it goes on into this message that says, that speaks about, it's kind of paraphrased from Psalms 91, where we don't fear the terror by night or the arrow by day, because there's a God, He's the Lord of hosts. He has encamped angels around us, and we have no reason to be afraid. And that's what all this song is telling us, is during this time of unrest, uncertainty, we don't know what's next. Some people don't know about their working situation after this is over, or they lost their working situation. People have lost loved ones. You don't understand these things, but we can't still in that time let fear overtake us, because that makes it even worse. So I'm hoping that this song will push everybody's faith up, and remind them that God has got our back in every situation, and make it's your daily mantra to say, I'm not afraid, all is well, all is well.
Man, I've been trying. I went on to Google to try to figure out how to pronounce it. So I'm so glad that you said
Like, you
what
know
the.
what? They have like four. Some people say Jehovah Sabaoth. Some people say Jehovah Sabaoth. Some people say Jehovah Sabaoth. Some people have say Jehovah Sabaoth. But it's a kind of it just varies. But I think the proper is Sabaoth or Sabaoth, like that.
Got it. Awesome. And I love how God uses you guys for the season. Like when you wrote this and when Tri City was singing it, you weren't thinking a pandemic, but man.
Absolutely not. Like, I mean, I didn't have no idea I would experience a real life Goshen. Like, I had no idea that we would actually experience a pandemic or a plague. I've never experienced that in my lifetime. So, just like
Right.
everybody else, this is a new one. This is a new one. This is the one for the books.
Exactly. Exactly. And I love to pick your brain because you're such a genius. But I'm thanking God that He used you for this season to release this song. Now let's talk about this
Yeah.
Clark Sisters biopic because you are the music director for all of the soundtrack and talk about your experience.
Yeah, it was so much fun. They brought me on as the music producer for the music, but I also produced the performances for the film, and trained the girls to kind of do a recreation of the Clark sisters. It was fun. It was definitely a big, heavy weight lift because I only had like 14 days to come in and take. Everybody was going to watch this film back into the 80s. So it was about finding sounds, about really recreating the tracks and making it feel like the originals and, still adding a little bit of my spice to it. But also putting five strangers in the room and getting them to try to duplicate one of the greatest female groups of all time, So it was 14 songs. I had 14 days and, I know everybody was really nervous because they knew it was a heavy ask. But, when you're doing film, budgets are crazy and you have to be on time because they have to shoot or they lose a lot of money. So I was like, oh Lord, I gotta finish this and I gotta get it right because those Clark sisters got a beehive that will chew you up if you mess up their stuff.
Trust me. I think I'm one of them. Listen, I went on
they will
social
chew
media.
you up.
I went on yesterday. I had to catch myself, Donald, because I was like, "What? What do you say?" Like I was ready. I was ready to jump on, and I love it because the movie
Yeah,
had them so vulnerable. But let's talk about that
right.
14 days to replicate that. Like
I have
seriously,
I had
Donald?
14 days. That was it. I'm telling you. I have 14 days. All of that music, all that you see, I did it in 14. Actually, Cheryl, I got in it by the second day. Found my tempo. And I literally finished the band stuff in about 6, and I finished the girls in about 4. I turned everything in. I was done
Wow.
with everything 2 days early. And, film people love you when you do that because you
Exactly.
don't, that it saves them money. So I was done, and it was like I knew they were nervous because again, it's trying to duplicate that sound. Can you? Originally, the Clark sisters were supposed to do all their vocals. It was supposed to be lip sync. And Christine Swanson, who was just brilliant, she took the risk. She said, I would rather hire singers and teach them to act versus actors lip syncing. And she just
Wow.
said, Donald, can you get these people to sound close to the Clarks? I said, I'll do my best. Once we start getting into it, and I just kind of introduced the science of finding the tones with the other singers. Coach Kiera genetically has some of it already, but everybody else were new and they'd never sang
Yeah.
together. And nobody, they didn't know each other like that. So I just kind of, introduced the science of finding the tones and of each character and how they approach their vocals. And everybody adapted to that, even though that wasn't their normal instrument. We all adapted to that. And that what you see is that. And after we did the first song, it sounds so close. They all looked at me and just said, I can't believe that's us. And we just kept knocking it out. And that's the way it went.
Wow. They typecast this so well. They did so great with choosing, like you said, singers who may have just had their first opportunity to act here, did amazing. I mean, oh my goodness. What's
Yeah,
your
they
name?
all did
Ingenue
great.
that played Dr. Maddie Moss. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh,
It
she's
was
from like
so
another
absolutely good.
realm. Her
Yeah.
gifting is just,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope she wins every award that she
Me
can for
too.
that because she put her soul into that role. Oh my
And so
goodness.
underrated.
Like,
Like who knew, right? Like she's been doing movies and
wow.
things for years,
Wow.
but whew,
She is a gift. I mean, like, she is a gift. Whew. It was
man,
incredible, her
I
performance
love it.
on that. And,
Well,
yeah, it was great. It was a really great moment. I'm really happy. I thought it would do cool, but I had no idea it would do what it did. It just left us all speechless. And even when we were doing it, I remember talking to some promoters, to the producers. I said, I hope this really makes mainstream entertainment be more open to telling stories
yes.
from our community because sometimes they just put gospel in a religious box, but it's an art form. And
Yeah.
it's an art form just like anything else, and it should be treated like that. Even though it is the good news, it's an expression of our art, and people
Yeah.
worked hard at their craft, and they're some of the best on the planet when it comes to
Absolutely.
talent. So I hope that it would make them want to hear more stories of people from our community because we're just people like anybody else. Same challenges, same ups, same downs.
Yep.
It's not just because we do gospel music every day is heaven. It's not.
Yeah.
That's not the truth. So we just have faith, and we have faith that gets us through it. And so I think due to the success of it, I'm positive that even from the producers, that a lot of networks are calling and want to hear more stories from our community. I think that's a beautiful
Wonderful.
thing.
That's what
That's a beautiful
I
thing.
prayed for too. And when I saw the statistics of it being the number one movie in for the year so far with paid
Hmm.
ads, which made the whole
Yes.
difference because you had sponsors behind this
Right.
particular project, and
Yes.
the combination of executive producers and the gifts like yourself behind it, it was amazing. You guys made history
Yeah.
once
Thank
again.
you. It too was. Yeah, thank you.
Listen,
I'm so
the
proud of it, man. I'm really proud of it. And everybody loved the fact that the ladies really sang. You know, I just saw
yeah.
so many artists, so many industry executives just blown away by the performances. So I'm really proud of that. They worked really hard, and I'm really glad we were able to get that so close. I mean, there was a couple of times where the Clark sisters hit me and said, "Did you get Twinkie to overdub?" And I was like, "No, that's Christina, or
Phew.
that's Shalea." Like we just found the tones and knocked it out.
That is so amazing. On top of the supernatural, with God shutting us all down to be here to watch it all. Like we had no other, everybody was at
Right.
home watching.
Everybody had
So
nowhere to go. They had to just be there watching work. It was a perfect storm, if I could say it like that.
it really
So
was.
it
It
was it's
was.
cool. But I'm really glad the Clark sisters deserve this and more. I hope this gets them their star on Hollywood Boulevard. They deserve it all. They
Yes.
really, really, really do. So I'm really
Yep.
proud. I'm proud to just have shared some of this journey with them.
Yeah, I'm glad you were a part of it. The Goshen record, of course, is out and in stores now. You guys go pick that up and check out the brand new single, Jehovah Sabaoth.
Yes, that's it. There
Is
you
that
go.
right?
It's kind of like
Okay, good.
Sabbath, but yeah, kind of like Sabbath, but Sabbath. Like yeah.
Sabaoth. There you go. Jehovah Sabaoth, God of angel armies. Pick that one up. Everything Donald does. Make sure you guys support it. Donald, I love you. Thank you for checking in.
Love you too. Thank you so much. And everybody, if you want to follow me, you can follow me at Donald Lawrence on Instagram, at Donald Lawrence Twitter, Donald Lawrence Music on Facebook, and go subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm releasing content that I've had all this time. I'm releasing content that I've had for years and nobody's ever seen. So I got
Wonderful.
Faith Evans up live singing "Say a Prayer for Me." I got Layla Hathaway up there singing "Ultimate Relationship." So if you want to catch those full live performances, go subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Look for the blue check too, because there's some trolls out here doing some crazy stuff.
Please, yeah, the blue check. And please know, y'all, I'm not coming in your DM asking you to send me money for beats. Okay, I'm just never doing that. So please don't send anybody any money to do some beats that they're working on. If I'm working on a beat, it's for a label and they're paying for it. Okay, so please don't send your money to these people.
Awesome. Donald, thank you so
Right.
much, brother. Have a great day. I don't want to keep holding you,
You
but I
too.
appreciate you calling in. All right.
I appreciate you as well, Cheryl. Thank you.
Up next is the Full Gospel Baptist Fellowship Mass Choir, Dietrich Haddon, and a classic from William Beckton on Praise 104.1.